From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's Cash Close. And you know what we're going to name this video? We're going to call it Greek Plan D. You know what the D is for? Default. I've been telling you that for a long time. The high of the day in the S&P, I'm not going to be doing any of that. We know what happened. On Friday, the S&P closed weak. We opened 8 handles lower in Globex. We sold off to 60, 62.75 or 63 even. And then we rallied up to 79.5 or something like that. And we're 75.5 last. We're a little bit on the upper end of the range here. But you know what? This is starting to get boring, you guys. It really is. At the end of the day, I still believe that the markets want to go higher, but all this goofy headline algo news stuff that hits the tape just destroys the S&P. Now, on the flip side of this, is it really destroying the S&P? I don't know, because you know what? Where most of this risk lies, they say Deutsche Bank, Germany, is the one that carries the most risk of a Greek default. But then they said today that most of their positions are hedged. I don't know how they could do that. And then you flip over to France, where Soc Gen has the most exposure, and they're saying that a lot of their exposure has been covered up. But if that's the case, why are the markets so weak? My problem with this has been the same thing that it's been with over the last couple of months. This is a reoccurring problem that never seems to go away. And for the sake of the markets, or for the sake of the world, I know that this sounds crazy, I still think a default would be better than this kind of hag-tag thing that's going on between the European lenders and the Greek government. The Greek government doesn't have the money to pay, and they don't want to pay. And therefore, any kind of deal is just a Band-Aid that is going to prolong the inevitable, a Greek default, Plan D. Now, as far as the rest of the week goes, or as far as the S&P goes, I think they acted okay today. I saw the low of the day. I put it out in the room. I said that I thought that we were at or near the lows of the day, and the S&P rallied up. And then when it got to the highs of the day, I said that I felt that the S&P was at or near the highs of the day, and the S&P sold off. But that said, at the end of the day, volume has come back a little bit here, and we're still into the seasonally favorable daily statistics. Now, someone in our room said that the March quad witch is not a very, very friendly witch, but the stats that we're looking at indicate that they are. And I think, like what we've seen in the past, we're going to see this kind of sell off and then shake out to the upside, sell off and then shake out to the upside. Again, not going sharply lower and not going sharply higher. I am going to say one thing: we've had a successful boot camp, but we got off to a little rocky start with some of our technology. We had over 170 people sign up, and it's going to be a week filled with information. And I've suggested that the people in the boot camp get out some type of Google Doc or something and start writing this down, because I've already got a lot of feedback. Despite the technology glitches, everybody's really, really happy about what they're looking at, the content in the room, the order flow, everything that I talked about. So we're going to leave it like that. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the opening print.